Welcome on board the Ambience. This is a remarkable ship that was saved during the pandemic from the scrap heap and is now sailing as the flagship of Ambassador Cruises. She has a storied history, starting her career in the 1990s as Regal Princess for Princess Cruises and sailed for a long time as Pacific Dawn in Australia. But now she is the flagship of Ambassador Cruises and brings a beautiful blend of traditional cruise design and modern cruise amenities. Before we get started, I was on board Ambience as a guest of Ambassador Cruises, and whilst they did provide access to the ship and a wonderful tour of the vessel, I was not paid to make this video. We'll start our tour on the very top deck of the ship, Deck 14. At the forward end of this deck you'll find the Observatory, which is housed within the crown dome on top of the vessel's bridge. This structure actually forms part of the external design of the ship, which was created by designer Renzo Piano to resemble the forward profile of a bottlenose dolphin. The Observatory is the ship's nightclub, but it also offers sweeping views over the bow and port and starboard sides of the ship, meaning it is a popular place for people to sit during the day and watch the world go by. Just after this, you will find an open deck space, which overlooks a well into the swimming pool area below. On the forward bulkhead, you'll find the big screen, which is used to show movies and videos throughout the day and night. There's a jogging track here as well, and at the aft end of the deck, you'll find the active studio, which is used for indoor sporting activities. One deck down, and you would think you'd find yourself on deck 13, but surprise, surprise, this ship, like many others, does not have a deck 13, and in fact you'll find yourself on deck 12. Deck 12 is also known as Lido Deck, and this hints at the main use of the aft end of the space being one of the main restaurants. Most of the space is known as the Borough Market, and you'll find various different cuisines on offer here. But at the very stern of the space, you'll find Saffron, which is a separate area that can be converted into a specialty restaurant in the evenings. Forward of this, you'll find the pool bar, which overlooks the reflection pool. There's a second pool here, just forward of the reflection pool, and there's seating around the area, allowing passengers to enjoy a space to relax whilst taking a swim. At the forward end of the deck you'll find the coffee house, which offers tea and coffee right out to the open deck space, as well as the nearby Sea and Grass eatery. The forwardmost part of this deck is occupied by the bridge and the wheelhouse, so we'll skip down one more deck to deck 11, Ambassador Deck. Ambassador Deck is the first main accommodation deck on board the ship. At the aft end of the deck you'll find hot tubs, but the rest of the space is occupied with cabins, including both inside, outside ocean view, and balcony accommodation. There are several large suites located towards the forward end of this deck. Consulate Deck has a forward viewing area at the very bow of the ship. This is a fantastic place to go to watch the world go by as the ship sails from port to port. You'll find a self-service laundry here, and it's a very large space with lots of washers and dryers as well as ironing boards. There are many cabins throughout this area, and at the very aft end you'll find the Consulate Bar. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a few ways you can do that. You can do so by jumping onto our merch store and having a look at some of our t-shirts, but also you can have a look at our books, or you can just give us a like or subscribe. It will make a huge difference. Thanks so much for your support. Ambience Deck is the domain of cabins, and the entire space is occupied by cabins throughout both port and starboard sides of the vessel. Taking one step down to Deck 8 or Boat Deck, and here is where you'll find the ship's lifeboats overhanging the promenade. At the forward end of the deck, you'll find the Palladium, which is the ship's main show lounge. The Palladium has a large stage which juts out into the central area of the space, allowing for excellent sightlines throughout the entire room of the stage and shows below. You'll find Bronte's library on the port side and the Partnership Lounge on the starboard side, where you can visit if you want to make any inquiries about Ambassador cruises. Moving further aft, and you'll find the Purple Turtle Pub. The Purple Turtle Pub is a popular venue throughout cruises and offers a mix of different drinks served by the bar situated near the forward bulkhead. The central and aft part of Boat Deck are home to cabins. Promenade Deck, or Deck 7, sits just below Boat Deck, and whilst Boat Deck is where you'll see the lifeboats, Promenade Deck is where you can walk underneath them. The ship does not have a full wraparound Promenade Deck, but she does have a teakwood promenade which brings a traditional nautical feel. The forward end of this space is the lower level of the Palladium Lounge, and it is here where you'll find much seating and a drink service in the evenings. Making your way aft, you'll pass the photo gallery and the shopping Galleria. These both overlook a central well, and on the aft bulkhead you'll find a small bar called SW19, taking its name from one of London's postcodes. And in fact the entire ship carries a London-style theme, and so you can find hints from the United Kingdom and from London throughout the ship. Further aft and you'll find the Botanical Lounge. This entire space is themed with a botanical or plant-like atmosphere. It's a welcoming space with friendly staff and drinks served throughout the day and into the evening. Another bar can be found just after this, known as the Raffles Bar. The Raffles Bar is a piano bar with a large piano placed on the stage on the aft bulkhead. Making our way aft again, and you'll find the entrance to the Buckingham Restaurant. The Buckingham Restaurant is one of the main dining venues on board the ship, and it offers views over the port, starboard and aft of the vessel. On main deck below, the aft area is occupied by the galleys which service the Buckingham Restaurant. But if we make our way forwards, we'll pass many more cabins until we arrive at the shopping Galleria and the Ambassador Casino. The ship has a relatively small casino which was repurposed from a shopping space on the ship's previous deck plans. The smaller size reflects the tastes of the British market in which the ship usually operates in. On the aft bulkhead you'll find a staircase which links the upper level and the lower level of the atrium. Descending down the staircase and we'll find ourselves on Reception Deck. Reception Deck is home to the ship's reception or the purser's office, where you can go and speak to members of the crew about any shipboard or hotel related activities. In the middle of the space you'll find the centre court, and this is the focal point from the well decks on the decks above. On the port side you'll find Dickens, a bar that serves drinks and coffee into this area. There is a destinations experience desk and a future cruise sales desk as well. One other area we can look at on the ship is Deck 4 or Aloe Deck. This is home to the medical centre, but that's not really very much fun, so skip down 2 more decks to Deck 2, where we can explore the ship's spa facility. In a trend that's coming back in modern day cruises today, the spa facility on board Ambience is actually situated near the waterline. There are several treatment rooms, as well as saunas and a beauty salon, which can be found here. One of the interesting things about this space is because of its proximity to the waterline, you will pass through several watertight doors to access the various treatment areas. Ambience is the first ship and flagship of Ambassador Cruises, and since entering service she has gained a loyal following. And having explored her decks, you can see why. She brings a nice nautical feel from the older style vessels and blends it with modern amenities that have been added on in refits for Ambassador Cruises. Therefore, the ship stands out as a unique product in the market and has just completed its first world cruise. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Ambience. The ship really did stand out as a unique offering in the marketplace, and it's so nice to see an old ship like Ambience being saved and refurbished in such a loving and caring way. If you've travelled on board Ambience before, either as Ambience or when she was operating as Pacific Dawn or Regal Princess, leave us a comment below, let us know what you think of the ship. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you on board.